Hey everyone. So I wanted to share something with you that was really beneficial to me when I was doing my personal work, and something also that I use in therapy sessions with clients. This is something I've shared with my partner Zena. This is something I've shared with friends of mine, um, because I think it's really helpful for compartmentalizing things that are difficult in our heads or things that we're not quite getting. Um, Things we're not quite making sense of. So what this isn't is me doing therapy. I want to be very clear that in no way am I doing therapy. You are not my client. This is in no way me offering a service or an intervention. What this is offering a practice that I myself use because I feel as though this can be really beneficial, especially if you're a person who comes from a history of trauma like I do. So that makes sense, I hope. So this is going to be a little bit of an imagery or a visualization practice. So just follow the directions, take it slow, and we'll go through this together, okay? With the people in chat, when we're done with this, and of course, participation is absolutely 100% voluntary. If you don't feel like you want to do this or you're not comfortable, don't. But if you feel like this could be beneficial, please do so. So what I'd like the chat to do is, if they can, is once we're done with this, I'd actually like to see what people's responses to this are. Maybe see what their thoughts are or what their experience was. Okay? So I am going to be reading this out of the book. It's a book I use a lot. It's 101 Trauma-Informed Interventions by Linda A. Curran. I bought this book at a seminar, and I used exactly 2 things out of it because some of it I'm just not a huge fan of, but some of it's pretty damn good. So with that said, we are going to read this, and we're going to go through this together. Okay? So allow yourself to be comfortable, either lying down or sitting up with your back, neck, and spine fully supported. Knowing that you will not be interrupted for the next little while, begin by gently closing your eyes. Now begin to bring your attention to your breath, the direct experience of your breath, however it is, and however it changes. Allow yourself to softly focus your awareness onto the breath that is arising right now. The in-breath and the out-breath, the rising and the falling. If you can, try to follow one full cycle of the breath from the beginning of the in-breath through its entirety, and then to the beginning of the out-breath through its entirety. Allow yourself the time and the space to be in direct contact with the breath throughout one entire cycle. As you continue to pay attention to the breath, you may notice distractions that arise. Just allow yourself to notice those distractions, any bodily sensations or any thoughts that may arise. If possible, allow yourself to become aware of the separateness of those bodily sensations. Notice how those sensations are separate and distinct from your thoughts, your ideas, and your words. Now, as you continue with this focused awareness, you will notice how often you lose contact with the breath. Maybe you become caught in a thought or an idea or a plan, or maybe some other bodily sensation pulls your attention. When a distraction happens, simply notice that you have lost connection with the breath and gently bring your awareness back. We'll begin now with a deep breath in through your nose, inhaling slowly and deeply, and exhaling through pursed lips until all the air has been released. Now we are going to create a container. It doesn't matter what kind of container it is, as long as it can hold any and all disturbing material. If you were going to develop such a container, what would it look like? Some people have used boxes, safes, trunks, or chests. Others have used book bags, knapsacks, or pieces of luggage. It can be anything really: a tank, a submarine, an underground well, anything that suits you. Can you bring to mind an image of something like that? Something that would be able to contain any and all disturbing material. When you have one in mind, take a good look at it. What material is it made out of? How is it held together? How big is it? What color is it? Are there any markings on it? If there are markings, notice them. If not, that's fine. But I'd like you to add something to this container. I'd like you to add in some way, whether it's a note, a sign, or an inscription of some sort, a notation to indicate that this container will remain tightly sealed. It will remain tightly sealed until you wish to open it and retrieve something from it. Otherwise, it will remain sealed. It can be opened, but only by you, and it should be opened only in service of your healing. So once again, look at your container. Does it have that message on it? If not, place it there now. Now, how does this container open? Are you able to open it by yourself? Or do you need help? Is there a lock on it? If not, feel free to put one or several on it now. Once the locks are in place, we'll experiment with opening and closing them, locking and unlocking them. As you do that, notice how much or how little effort it takes to open and close the container. When you feel comfortable handling it, I'd like you to think of something that you might put into the container. Just for practice, do whatever is necessary to open it up, and then place something in there. When I say something, I mean anything really, that may be distressing or disturbing to you right now. It could be thoughts or worries, bad feelings or bad memories. It could be something that you have to do, but not right this minute. Or it could be something that keeps you from being present with this exercise. It could be self-judgment, doubt, or pain. Whatever it is, you're going to put it into the container. Whatever you need to do to get it in there, do that now. Once the disturbing material is in, close it up, lock the container. Now breathe deeply as you look at the locked container, securely holding anything that you need or want it to hold. Notice how you feel in your body having set aside whatever distressing thing you put in your container. Can you sense that it's fully contained? Is there something that keeps it from feeling fully contained? If so, can we try opening the container and putting that in there as well, the thing that is keeping it from feeling contained? Remember that this container is yours and will hold anything and everything you need it to hold for as long as you need it to. Now imagine walking away from your container so that it is no longer in your sight. Notice feeling in your body now that you are no longer burdened by what you put in the container. Notice your breath, your in-breath and your out-breath, and any sensation of relief you might feel in your body. Maybe your shoulders have dropped a bit, or some of the tension in your neck has subsided. Whatever feeling of relief you notice, breathe deeply and just notice. Whatever you put in the container is now securely locked inside. It is for you to open whenever you wish to put things in or take them out. So now, just for practice, let's go back to your container. Once you have it in sight, look closely. See if you can read what is written on the outside. Continue focusing on your breath as you continue to approach the container. When you are within reach, unlock it and open it up. As you open it up, notice that what you put in there is still in there, separate from you. You might want to put something else in, or maybe even a few things. Or you may just wish to lock it back up. Whatever feels right and safe for you to do, do that now. And once you're finished practicing putting things in your container and securely locking it back up, you can walk away from your container. As you walk away, begin to bring yourself and your awareness back to this room. Know that this resource, this secure container, is available to you at any time. Know that you can use it to hold any and all disturbing material. Know that all the things that you have chosen, or anything that you choose to contain in the future, will be secure and will remain secure. You can access this material whenever you feel ready to do so, but for now, you may leave it knowing that it is safe and securely contained. And now, when you are ready, gently bring yourself back to the room. I am going to count from 1 to 5. When you reach the number 5, you will gently open your eyes. You will be awake and alert and feeling only peace. 1, 2, 3. Take a deep breath. 4, 5. So everyone that was doing that with us, just take a moment. Just breathe naturally, calmly. Just take a moment to explore what's going on in your body. And yeah, just take the opportunity to explore whatever's happening for you. And if any of the chatters want, when they feel ready, I would like you to share what your experience was of that. To be very clear, you do not have to share. You don't have to participate. It's all voluntary. But I would hope, if you're able to give us some sort of insight into what you experienced and if that was helpful for you. The one thing I will say about this container, because I don't know what your container looks like. I know what mine looks like. But one thing I will say is to remember that this container will remain closed unless you open it in service of your healing. Think of this as almost like setting an intention. The other thing that I want you to keep in mind is that this is not the same thing as shadow or disownment. You're not getting rid of these feelings or these things, but you're putting them somewhere where they are safe and not able to hurt you or keep you stuck. So I just want to keep that in mind. This isn't some sort of disownment or fragmentation of emotions or anything else like that. But the reality is that all it is setting a container, a little compartment in your mind, however you view it, however you want it, and using that in service of your healing so that you don't become flooded with anxiety or doubt or self-judgment or anything else you choose to put in the container. By the way, Mr. Saxokeet, thank you. I appreciate that you love my content. I really fucking appreciate that. Thank you. And again, if you're enjoying the stream or you like the channel, please consider subscribing. You can ring the bell to get notifications, like the video. And you can also donate to us via Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/transgrowtherapist/tip. Again, this is not a piece of therapy. It's not an intervention. I am not offering services. This is just simply something that I use personally that I thought would be really great to share with all of you. I actually first did this in 2017 with my therapist and genuinely had a really great time with it. I think it helped a lot when I was first coming to terms with having borderline. So I hope that this will be beneficial to you. Does anyone feel like sharing? So while I wait to see if anyone says anything in chat, I guess I'll just bring up this additional thought. So there are going to be individuals who will look at this meditation and think this is hokum, that it's a mind trick, that it's something comical. To be honest, I fell asleep, sorry. That's fair. Yeah, so what we were sharing is a container meditation that's used for people who deal with trauma and really high anxiety. So what it is, and you can go back and check this out on the VOD, I will be separating it out, is a useful meditation to go through and set up a part of our mind that's sort of compartmentalized. Excellent, Tova. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah. So the point of this is that I want to kind of speak to the debunkers or the people who might have a negative view of this. So I'm not saying I'm doing anything spiritual. This is not some sort of hokum. What we're doing here is sort of doing something the mind naturally has the ability to do. Often when people are dealing with things like trauma or anxiety, like myself, we often get very, very flooded. This is true with my partner with PMDD. This is incredibly true for myself with BPD. And there's a way in which we have to have ways to deal with that. And sometimes being held is impossible. Sometimes you get 5 minutes between sessions, or you're in the middle of the parking lot of somewhere. And what's nice about this is that at any point when you go through this, you can go through, come back to your container, open the thing up, and put in there anything you need to. And again, it is not trying to shove it out of the mind or pretend it's not there. It is just simply compartmentalizing it so that you're not flooded. This is a habit or a technique that a lot of people have, they just don't realize it. And people who deal with trauma often become so flooded with anxiety and stress that they don't know how. Everything gets blurred together. And when I say in service to your healing, what I mean is when you're with your doctor, with your psychotherapist, when you're with your teachers, when you're with your mentors, when you're with people who you trust, who are there to serve for your personal growth and healing, you can open this thing up, get out the stuff you need and work on it. And then when you're done, if it's not dealt with, put it back away. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So again, I'll say this. If you like the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Comments are set to approval only, but most comments get through unless they're abusive. If you want to donate to the channel, you can donate at streamlabs.com/transgirltherapist/tip. We really, really appreciate it. We really, really appreciate it. If you want to become a patron, please go to patreon.com/transgirltherapist. Yeah, we really appreciate all of you being here. So I'm going to end this segment here. All right. Thank you so much. See you in the next one.